So it's pretty early evening, and we find none other than Mason Cassidy at the abandoned warehouse that has kind of become a meeting spot for himself, Bob, and Sabina. In this room, we find the fairy lights, bean bags, new repurposed car seats that Mason sees as is almost kind of disappointed that the Spice Girls blow up sofa isn't there anymore. Then he kind of sits down, slumps into one of the beanbag chairs, and just sits there on his phone waiting for Sabina to show up.
Oh, she's already. The moment she hears that Mason's got there, she'll put on, let's call it Anya and the Waves style new age calming music. And she comes on in, a couple of cups in her hand, steaming hot, and she passes him, not coffee, chamomile tea. Evening.
Good evening, Sabina. Nice, soothing.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been interesting. Everything's been very interesting. Yeah.
How was your first Elysium?
Oh geez, yeah. No, it was good, interesting. A little tense, but business got done in the end, so not too bad. All good.
Good. So I
And
hear
yours?
from productive at least, and not anywhere near as bad as I was expecting it to be honest with you.
You got promotion.
Temporary promotion, but yeah, I know. I didn't think they'd actually give me the title, so even for a limited amount of time, so that was kind of a shock, but yes, there's not much change really. I just
acknowledgement for it. That's good.
I guess so. I just got to keep doing the job, I guess.
Doing something right, yeah.
Yeah, I hope so.
To keep it.
Hope so. Yeah, it was actually quite nice in some places getting to talk to people.
Did you manage to talk to Rachel?
Yeah.
So it went well?
I think so.
Good.
I think it was something that we both needed. I definitely needed it.
Yeah, you were so pent up about that. I told you there's nothing to worry about.
I worry a lot, in case you hadn't noticed.
No, I didn't notice. That's why I gave you more coffee to pent you up, as opposed to chamomile tea.
Okay. Yeah, no, I need to see her again soon. I think. Yeah, we just needed to reconnect as people.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, don't let yourselves be strangers. Come on.
No, definitely not. Not again. How did your conversation with Mr. Reed go? I'm sorry for my slight outburst. It was uncalled for towards them, and I don't know if it made things more difficult or awkward for you when talking to Mr. Reed, but I'm sorry.
Nothing I couldn't handle.
I'm sorry about that. I did talk to him a bit later on and apologize for it all.
How did he take it?
Yeah, he accepted it, and it's fine. There's no, at least he didn't explicitly show that there was any hard feelings. Him and I are never going to be friends, but That doesn't mean we can't
Be
be civil.
civil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I was just, there was a lot pent up there. But anyway, yeah, enough about me. How did it go with you?
No, it went well. We came to an arrangement.
Yeah, Bob said.
Bob's help, yes. Very thankful that it turned out that way.
Good. I'm glad. And he's fine with you knowing what you know and working for him, or
Yeah.
I assume working for him, and and
Bob even managed to fix me a salary under Reed, so
hey,
can't complain.
15-year-old getting a full salary is pretty good.
Yes. But no, it'll be interesting to, see what that side of the mob life is like from him, not getting his hands dirty. I'm curious about that side of it.
Yeah.
And say what you will, he's good at what he does. So.
He's good at what he does. I just don't always approve of what he does. But that's me. That's me.
I got him to backtrack anyway, so.
Backtrack?
He tried to. He was doing the whole, give Rachel the thanks she saved your uncle. And I just reminded him how if my uncle did die, I said I was aware of that. I had eyes. But if my uncle did die, he'd be losing his business too. So don't act like it was for me. He backtracked pretty quickly. Then I went back to being all, polite and civil.
Very astute.
I've never seen him backtrack before. It was interesting.
Very astute. Well done. Sometimes, I think a lot of the time, he needs to be put in his place. First, he carries himself very arrogantly. Some of it is
useful, though.
Some of it is warranted, and he's certainly proved himself, and he's very capable at what he does. But sometimes it's I think sometimes he forgets that everyone sees him as arrogant.
I didn't see him as arrogant. I just saw him as underestimating.
Underestimate? Well, one and the same, depending on where that came from.
But that's fine. I said I look forward to learning under him.
Yeah. Obviously, be careful, right?
Always. I said we got things in place with that deal, so that should be fine.
I did talk to him just to make sure that no matter what he was looking, he would keep you and your family safe.
Well, if we don't accept the deal, he was going to have my uncle cut all of us off from him.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that.
Which I guess is keeping them safe.
No, it's keeping him safe. There's a difference. But I'm glad it didn't come to that.
Same.
What else did you get up to then?
Floated around here and there.
Talk to anyone interesting?
Well, you were there when I spoke to Letsky. We'll speak to him again sometime, so no. Did I do something wrong?
No.
Sure, I felt like I did something wrong. Like,
you didn't do anything wrong.
Calling you in front of the class, like that just how intense that look was.
You didn't do anything wrong. Blatsky's just, he's very insightful and also very attentive, but also...
That wasn't attentive in a good way.
When it comes to Elysium, as bad as it sounds, and it does sound bad, and it is bad, really, ghouls are considered second rate. So
That's not just an Elysium, it's everywhere when it comes to this life.
True, but particularly at Elysium, they are not engaged with as much. Outside of it, ghouls are just a facet of this life, and people know that, and they deal with that. But I think Blatsky maybe was just sizing you up because he's well acquainted with Bob, and
Okay.
was getting his own opinion and judgment on you. Don't worry too much about it. Blatsky is. I've only had a couple of conversations with him, but he's one of the more reasonable ones.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Hang on.
You didn't do anything wrong. I was there. I saw it all.
Okay. Good.
Talk to anyone else?
Anya. Very, very interesting. Are you going to her party?
Yes, I am.
It's gonna be so good.
Well, Anya has been very explicit that she wanted me to have fun, but also asked me to run security for the event. So I'll be making sure it doesn't get too out of hand.
If you need help with security so you can have fun, you can always ask me.
Sabina, I appreciate it. I'll keep that in mind.
Has she told you where she's holding it?
Not yet. I'm actually seeing her shortly after this. So I'm sure she'll let me know then, but
you're going to love it.
She seems very genuine and oddly kind for a kindred. Reasonable, thoughtful.
I think the fact she has hobbies helps.
Have you seen her garden?
I haven't, but she told me, yeah, she dances and she does gardening. I want to see her garden. What's it like?
You won't see any other garden like it.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. I have to ask her about it next time at the party.
It's yeah. You just have to see it.
Okay. But how's it going on with you now that you're officially with your promotion?
Yes, constable.
How's all your, it sounded like you had a backlog of investigation stuff. How are you juggling both?
Most of my investigation stuff was actually to do with my job, so as Archon. So honestly, it's kind of all blended into one now, and my work is now just primarily following leads and gathering information on the long night, and apparently now formulating plans of attack to root them out and deal with them, which I think is it's rather, I don't know, the general opinion I've got from most people so far is that it's very odd that someone so young as me, in kindred terms, only 3 years, someone as young as me has been given that kind of responsibility. I can't
improve yourself. You've got a new, maybe you've got a perspective that the older ones don't.
Yeah.
They just need to.
Yeah. Oh, I completely believe and hope that I can prove myself, and I'll do everything I can to do so. But
you already have. Just need to keep it up, is all.
I guess so. I wasn't expecting to get I'm sure Bob's talked about, I guess, ambition or goals regarding kindred in some instance, right? Has he?
Does Bob look like the kind who has goals and ambitions? No,
Eh,
he's a bit on the fly.
well, from what I can gather, most kindred are ambitious. They want something. They know what they want, and they work and strive for that, and will do, in most cases, whatever it takes to do that.
You can replace kindred with people in that sentence too, and it would work. You know that.
I know. I guess, but kindred society is a little bit more cutthroat. Not
Kindred
much.
society, you have a lot more time.
Yeah. Which makes people crueler. But I don't want to I don't necessarily want promotions. I don't want higher positions of authority, of power. I just want to keep what I care about safe.
No.
And this job is probably my best opportunity to do that within this society. And I guess for me, that was just always something, wanting to do that, to protect what I care about. That's just something I want to do and will do regardless.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird getting a job or position, promotion, where that's all I want from it, but I can't. But this kindred being kindred, I can't imagine that they're not suspecting me of anything else.
Well, that's on them.
I know, but
if they expect you of anything else, that's going to affect their decisions.
Yeah, no, I know.
You can choose a fee that affect yours.
Yeah. Anya said that a lot of people are curious about me, which is mind-boggling to me, to be honest.
How many people of the long night do you think there are?
How many?
Mm-hmm.
From what information I've been able to gather, probably about 30 or so.
30 or so.
Obviously still recruiting, but at the moment in that kind of range. So the sooner we can move on them, the more likely that, the more accurate that will be. But honestly, I'm feeling good about our chances of dealing with it fully. It's nowhere near as many as I thought there would be. So,
is there any way that I could help? I mean, I've seen them knocking around my neighborhood.
have you?
You know I have. I told you what I knew what long nights were before you guys told me.
Get names of anyone?
No names apart from Albert because of the deal, and just names Bob gave me, which is Albert and one other who is not on my mind right now, but I have it somewhere. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Have you
They
seen
come
what?
to my door again, or I might follow them for a bit, see if
Yeah, yeah.
intrigued. But
Be
I wonder if
careful
there's
about that.
anybody. What they're gonna do?
I don't know. But
If they're preaching about monsters, it should be quite ironic if they try to kidnap a teenager.
yeah,
That's not gonna cause a fuss, is it?
Good point. Good point.
Mm.
Well, if they come knocking around again, or if you see them around
Hmm.
in St. Jude's, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to be heading over to St. Jude's either later this week or next week anyway. Blatsky has some things he wants to discuss regarding the long night. But yeah, if you see them, feel free to. I trust you to make sensible decisions.
Absolutely. And if there's anybody that you want on the long night to me to potentially keep an eye out during the day,
Yeah,
give me what they look like and the area where you think they'd be hanging around, and I'll try. And if
I don't have areas just yet. I'm working on that. But if you keep an eye out for either Juan Del Miro or Macy Dane.
that was the name. That was the name. Macy was the one.
And Bob told you about them.
Of Macy thing, and what's the one you said?
Juan Del Miro.
Del Miro.
Yeah, Macy Dane.
Dane.
Yes.
Okay.
You said that Bob told you about them, yeah?
Just in passing.
That's because I told Bob about them.
Okay.
Yeah, if you if you can keep an eye out, that would be helpful. But
I've not got like Shinigami eye things, I can't just look at people and know their name.
No, I know.
Facebook, Twitter. I can find out what they look like actually. Cross that.
Don't worry,
Or LinkedIn. If they're old, they probably have a LinkedIn, don't they?
Probably. But obviously I'll be doing my own investigations, but if anything comes up, just let me know.
If you ever need someone, I volunteer as tribute. And don't forget, just because you're like, oh, she's young, she's like a kid. Hey, that could be a good thing too.
Sabina,
Don't forget.
believe me, I don't underestimate you because you're a 15-year-old child.
Thank you.
You can do a lot more than any other 15-year-old I've met.
You've not met many then. So
I mean,
being 15.
I met a lot when I was 15, which wasn't all that long ago.
Okay.
15 years, give or take, but still. And you're far more capable than I was when I was 15. Everyone can see how capable you are.
Not everyone. I don't want everyone to know.
Anyone who talks
some people just see me as a model.
Anyone who talks to you long enough can see that you're witty. You've got a good head screwed on.
It's funny because I trust you. Don't go telling.
I won't. I'll keep it between us.
Thank you. Apart from long nights.
Yeah.
You got nothing else going on?
Not really, honestly. It's kind of taking up most of my pretty much all of my time.
You haven't been going to anybody else for weapons?
Not that I know of. I trust that I'm still going through the old constable's notes and what information he had on them, because he had plans and such. So I'm currently trying to piece those together and see what headway he had made.
That's a good plan.
Once I've got that, then I'll have a better idea. But for now, it's just gathering whatever information we can, because with an organization like this, taking out some of them is not going to be enough. And if we take out some and leave others, they're going to be able to recruit more people more easily. Yeah. So we need enough information that we can pretty much mop them all up in a night or within a couple of nights.
But might that make any who we might have missed believe more so? Might it be worth trying to just make them realize that all this talk of monsters and shit isn't real?
I think at the start, I wanted that to be the case.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be able to do that. But when they are so convinced to the point that they start openly firing on people walking through streets, it doesn't sound like they're very. It sounds like they're getting more fanatical by the day.
Like fanatical.
And if I don't know a lot, but fanatics tend to not be most reasonable. And as much as I
And if their
don't,
families don't know they're fanatics, if they start to see it, they could potentially weed them out of it, make them see how they've been duped and misled.
maybe. There's also the. I don't want to kill them all, but there is no way that I can deal with them all on my own, which means that other people, other kindred, will be helping me. And they're not going to be as merciful as I want to be. Because at the end of the day, the prince called a blood hunt. And that's our equivalent of a war.
Can you? What about bonding Albert? Because he's the head, yeah?
Well, him and the two names I gave you, they're the leaders.
Mm.
I don't know.
Bonding him and starts getting him to be more and more erratic until they just lose faith in him.
And then someone else, and then someone else will come up and take his place.
Rinse and repeat until there's nobody left. What it takes is bonding somebody, maybe planting some harder drugs, and the rest will bring their own comings from that. Start distrusting things.
Maybe. I don't know.
Are the police not looking into this if they mean shooting out at people on the
I
street?
mean,
We can't get it right every time.
Well, the thing is, they have.
Oh, so they've only been shooting at exclusively kindred. They've never got it wrong once.
Not that I know of. They have information on us. They know who to target.
Does anybody have a strong ghoul? Like a strong ghoul who wouldn't mind playing dead?
Playing dead.
As in, if they literally play dead, like, well, I don't know, because then they'd still be breathing after they heal themselves, right? Cross that. I don't know.
Well, we don't breathe.
I was saying ghoul.
The ghoul.
Because then they'd have to heal themselves because they would then die, wouldn't they? I don't know. I'm just trying to think.
No,
I was just
no,
trying to say, like, or a situation like if somebody. Do you have friends in the police?
don't. I mean, there are plenty of kindred who have control over parts of the police. So. And
maybe if you made it look like they actually killed a innocent civilian, not a monster, police would have a reason to round them up.
Yeah, we are considering that.
At least publicly, and then whichever happens to them after that. As long as you got the police there to cover it up.
It really depends on what information we have. We can either stage this as some sort of gang war, or we just have to deal with it ourselves. I'd rather not kill them all, but
You think there's a way to turn them against each other?
no. I think there's a way to turn the public against them and make them just disregard them as cult, crazy cult. But then they'd still be around.
Do you have any friends who are journalists?
There are people who there are kindred who are like editors for the Chronicle and such.
Could try and get them to be inside, and then sneaky audio recordings, sneaky photos, an expose on them as a cult with someone on the inside.
I think Bob would be better suited to that, given how stealthy he can be. But it's definitely something to consider.
Has anybody been attacked by them recently?
Not that I know of. The last attack I heard of was a few weeks, maybe a month ago.
Okay. So
in which,
whatever information they're getting, it's not a steady flow of, at least.
well, in between now and then, they have lost their supply of weapons. So they've not been able to carry out quite the decisive attacks that they would have done. They've killed a number of a few of us so far.
Shit.
Some of them were outsiders. One of them was a member of the Sanctum, one of Vlatsky's priests. And they had tried to attack one of our socialists and killed her ghoul.
Yikes. Are they after ghouls too? You think did they think that the ghoul was like a vampire too? Or...
Probably.
Hmm.
It's, much as I hate it, it is a war.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they were completely unprovoked, but
this isn't the way.
Attacks in the street, they clearly have no regard for other people. The city itself, people are terrified.
Yeah.
Partly because of us, but partly because of them. They are just as culpable at this point. And we're trying to lay low. And they're trying to root us out. And are on a war path to do so.
So what do you think of Crane's parade then?
I think it's a great idea. I think it's really, it'll be something to lift the spirits of the people, the kind of the city. They need it. It's the last month and a half, 2 months has been intense, and it's been It's been scary for them.
Yeah.
With the attacks at the yards and this open warfare that the Long Night are engaging in, and the Wormwood Killer resurfacing apparently.
The what? Oh, yeah.
People are scared. They need something to lift their spirits. They need something to feel hopeful about. I think the parade's a great idea. I'll be there. Make sure that it all goes smoothly and that there's no disruptions, but it'll be good.
Do you know when he's holding it?
I don't know yet. I can only imagine he'll be at the party tonight, so you could probably ask him then.
Do you have his number though? Just in case.
Yes, I do.
Can I have it, please?
Sure. And Mason will write down the number for you and
thank you.
Give it over to you.
I want to be on a float. Maybe suggest that he may get some other models from my agency there too.
Okay. I think that'd be a good idea. Definitely a good way to get some coverage on yourself.
Mm-hmm. Besides, it sounds like fun.
It does. It does. I'm sure it'll be quite the evening. All right. Well, I need to get going, but I'll see you later on this evening.
Party! Yes.
Party.
What's the dress code? She didn't tell me there was a dress code.
Wear what you want.
Okay.
Everything I've got from her is going to be a fun party. So wear what you want.
A fun party, not a party that's actually just a business conference.
Yeah, no, Elysium is...
I was lied to.
By who?
I was told vampire party, not a conference. I was expecting dancing and fun. This will make up for it. It's no biggie.
I sure will. All right. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you later on.
And you,
Do you know
drink your tea before it gets cold.
Do you know if Bob's coming?
He was and ahhing about it.
Okay. All right.
Hopefully, I mean, I don't know. He's been very quick with meetings lately. He can't say goodbye quick enough. So it would have been nice to go to a party with him. But he's busy.
He is busy. He's got his new domain.
He won't let me help. Oh, yeah, I know.
He's got his new domain to secure and scourgy business.
Party tricks. Yeah. All he did is ask me, since I'm Polish, if I could find him a handyman. No comment.
Wow.
And then he didn't even mean handyman. He meant somebody who could make something more defensible. I mean, like a builder, not a handyman. Well done.
Well, Bob may not be the most PC individual.
That's fine.
But at least you know where you stand with him.
He just seems to be showing me lately, that's all.
Have you given him any reason to? Okay. Maybe it's something you two of you to talk about.
I tried to, he just said I was like waved it off.
Well, then keep trying.
I will.
He listens to you. And he cares about what you have to say.
Thank you.
Alright? If it really bothers you, don't let him just wave it off.
But he does the smoke thing.
If he keeps running from it, then it will be painfully obvious that there is a problem. And well, you can make your own choices on how you deal with that. You're worth more than just being waved off. right?
Mm-mm.
But I think that if it really bothers you, he'll talk about it. He does care about you. He wouldn't have offered you this if he didn't.
I just feel like I'm boring him now or something.
Sabina, you're anything but boring.
She'll give Mason a hug.
He'll reciprocate the hug.
Thank you. I mean,
You don't have to thank me. Anyway, I'll see you later.
party.
Party. It'll be fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, see you then. And with that, Mason gets up, kind of, that you see the blush of life come to him, and he kind of downs his tea, and then he walks out.